I just went into the house to grab something, came back out, and I couldn't find my dog. He was sitting right there on the porch. I looked around, and here's what I found. Hi, bud. Did you find your spot? You want to go camping, don't you? Yeah, you want to go for a ride, don't you? Good boy. And I just finished the bed. So let me show you what we got. There we go. I added a couple boards here for strength and to hold these two sides together. It's not the most ideal, I suppose, but I'm working with salvaged wood and leftover wood that I had from other projects as much as I possibly can. When you're working with these furring strips, I don't know if I'd do it like that again. They're pretty tough to work with because they're terrible quality wood, and it's hard to find anything even remotely straight, and they're full of knots and everything too. But considering all that, I think I'm ending up with a fairly square box that is strong enough to hold my weight. These side panels are the 1/4 inch wood that I used. The paneling wood is leftover underlayment for flooring, the same stuff I used to build my other van boxes and stuff. I had about a 3/4 of a sheet of that stuff left over and a few scraps and bits here and there that I just kind of hung on to after I rebuilt the kitchen in our house. I used that underneath the linoleum floor in the kitchen. And then today I salvaged a half a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood. I tried to build a box lid with this same method here, and it was failing miserably. So I thought, well, let me see if I can find I was actually going to go buy a sheet of 3/4 inch. That stuff's expensive, but I found about a half a sheet I salvaged out of a piece of junk scrap stuff I had laying in the garage. Anyway, I was able to salvage enough of that board to make a lid, and then I got a hole in it so I can lift it up with a piano hinge on the back side of it. But see how it's kind of a junky piece of wood. But hey, a coat of paint just so I don't have particles of wood falling off all over the place. A good sanding and it'll be fine. So this is going to be where I'm going to keep my refrigerator, my Dometic CF50. If I end up taking it, it'll just store in here, and then I'll be able to access it under the bed. I'll have to lift this up. I may put some kind of a catch or something on that. Maybe just a bungee or something to hold the door up if I need to hold it up, and then grab some food out of the fridge or whatever I need to do. This is going to be enough room for the fridge and then storage for other items as well. There'll be plenty of room in there for that. But that just sits down on top of the box. And then the front part, I've got the seat, both seats right now are folded up. And the back of these seats, this black part, this rail right here, this has got some pretty good supports in it. Supports that back of the seat and these brackets for the folding mechanism. And I just have that board laying on top of it. And then I put a hole right here so I can pull this out. And what I did here was I just I ripped one of those furring strips in half. That sticks down about an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and it fits down in a slot that I built here on the box. So the weight of it is on top of the frame of the box, and then that just kind of locks it in place, having that strip on there. Now this board, this pine board here, is screwed to the top of the box, so it just stays stationary. When I got that up, or if I lift this up, that piece just stays stationary. But then that just fits down in there, and I've got a real snug fit. So when that's in there, this thing is rock solid. And that allowed me to have all this room underneath it without any supports or anything for storage. But let me show you, I don't know if I can hold the camera so you can see it. I'm sitting on top of it. I mean, it's got a little spring to it, but it's definitely enough to support my weight. I'm sure it could probably take a lot more weight than that. From the back of that seat to the back of the bed right here is 72 inches. So it's well, actually it's just a couple inches shorter than 6 feet. It's about 70 inches. And man, I'm kind of pleased with how it came out. It came out actually better than I had expected. It's not perfectly straight, like trying to get that edge lined up, you know, but who cares? It's going to support my weight. It's going to do the trick. What I'm going to do next is have to figure out what I'm going to do for a mattress. There's just tons of different options. I wanted to throw a few of these numbers out to you, so if there's somebody out there trying to do something similar, you'll have some ideas. All right, let's see if I can hold this camera while I put this tape out there. So that's on the back of the seat right there, touching the back of the seat to the back of the box. 70 and a quarter. It's 2 feet in width, which is about the best I could do. I could have extend this edge out probably another, at least maybe 2 inches. Could have made it 2 inches wider. It's 24 inches wide right now, which is, that's where it's going to be, and that's basically halfway between the wheel wells. The height off of the floor, at least to the top of the box, is 21.5 inches. I would have liked to have it about 2 inches, maybe even 3 inches shorter than that, but having it sit up on top of that seat that's folded up, that's what kind of limited or set the standard as to how high I had to build this thing. So that way, when you look down the edge of the bed, it's basically level all the way across. Now it raises up just slightly on that end, but probably not more than 1/4 of an inch. I won't even notice that, especially after I get some sort of a mat or something up here. There's with the door shut, so I got plenty of room there. I really, honestly like the windows. I'm one of those people that I like to wake up in the morning, pull the curtain open and look outside and see what's going on. Or if I hear funky noises and weirdness going on, I can peek out one of these windows and see what's going on outside. Oh, I'm probably going to use Reflectix and make some curtains or whatever for it. So here's kind of a look at the shelf for the bed here. And you can see I actually did have this another 3 inches longer, but this is a little bit higher yet right here than where it's sitting. And not only makes the board a little bit shorter, but it also allows it to sit down where it's just almost perfectly level. As far as these, I don't know if you can see with that lighting, probably not too good. Maybe go to the other side and let you see it, but these are going to be just fine. Those weather strippings, that last coat I put in there made it look pretty smooth and adhered that corner nicely, so there's no give in that at all. So I should be in pretty good shape there. At least I know it's not going to get worse. All right guys, thanks for tuning in, and hang in there. I'll bring you back and show you where I am next time after I get some sanding and painting done. So we'll see you on the next one.